Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. So welcome back to the VIP series here in Riverview Farms. So we're sitting here in March, just after we completed our last level in the last episode. So if you're new to the series or just not sure what we're doing here, we are focusing on using the VIP Order Manager, which is a demand system that asks for us to provide things to VIPs at a certain level. So we're at level 17 right now, and so let's just take an assessment of where we are at this point. We're starting lettuce. We just had the greenhouses putting out strawberries. We just did 113,000 liters of strawberries. We now need 76,000 liters of lettuce over time here. And then we're going to switch to tomatoes for a couple levels and put out quite a few of those. Lettuce, I think, takes a little bit of time because it takes 2 waters for every 1 lettuce, but we've got an automated irrigation system, so we're good. Wood is something I'm going to have to do in real time, because you can't fill anything ahead of time. You've got to do it when it's active, as it's listed here. So wood is going to be a focus of ours pretty soon. We have oats, cheese, and flour that we can go ahead and get done. So before I start jumping into work, I'm going to go ahead and see what we can fulfill of those 3 items. So over here at the dairy, and we've got plenty of cheese. So we are going to go ahead and get that delivered over to Stu's, or I'm sorry, over to Moondog's Farmers Market. So we need 13,000 liters. So I'm going to go ahead and get that loaded up on here, and we'll get going in a moment. Able to get that done pretty quickly. There's been some more cheese that was in the factory that got output, so that's how we still have 7,000 liters left, but we're going to need more in the future, so we're going to be back here delivering some milk, I'm sure, in a moment as well. We're going to head down here. So Moondog's Farmers Market is down and around through the roadways of the village here. So we've got to head up into the hills and go past the bakery where we were taking all our strawberries. As a reminder, we're here in England, so that is why I'm driving on the side of the road I'm driving on. So don't feel like I'm just being a poor driver. Riverview is set in the UK. So as part of that, as we're going ahead and driving, I just continue to ask people, because the goal is to get done with the level 20 orders, and that will wrap this series up. Unless we get an overwhelming desire to somehow terminate it early. But I think at this point, if people have stuck with it this long, they want to see what it's really going to take to power all the way through to what I committed to in the beginning. Now the question for the future series, however, is, do we also go to level 20, or do we end it at level 10, level 15, or do we just set a time period of, say, 6 months is how long the series runs, or a year? Because keep in mind, this is a weekly series. It takes a little bit of time, sometimes a lot of time, to put one of these episodes together. An episode like this, where I'm just doing mainly delivery and then a job or two, shouldn't be too terribly bad. But last episode, for example, took 9 hours of gameplay to come up with what I think turned out to be just under an hour of video. So it's not something I can do on a daily basis, certainly, and so a realistic time to get them out is weekly, which is what I set these single-player series at. So if I'm doing 6 months, for example, that would only be 26 episodes, and we're up almost to 70 episodes now. I don't think this series is going to get anywhere near 100 to get everything done, but there could still be another 10 or 15 episodes in front of us. And there's no guarantee on another map, just depending on what orders the VIPs decide they want in that community and so forth. It could take longer, it could go much, much faster. It's just really hard to tell. So But at least having a ballpark would be good, and and a combination is fine. Like say, hey, let's shoot for level 15 this time to be a little shorter, and hope that we can get in around a year with 52 episodes. And if suddenly we find we're at level 5, 52 episodes in, maybe we all decide, yeah, we're not going to continue. So let's see. This is Moondogs. So there we go. You can see, if you've not seen the VIP order, this is how it works. You can see a countdown, and now it has turned green because we've completed it. And we also made almost about $74,000 delivering that cheese as well. Sometimes we're delivering things to places we own, production locations, such as the sawmill. So when we get wood in there, that 39,000 wood is not going to give us any income at that point. So the other thing I do need to take a look at is in level 20, VIPs want wood chips. That's not something I've had to provide, honestly, at any point in Farming Simulator. So I'm going to have to figure out the best way to do that. It may involve finding a mod. It may involve just taking advantage of what I already have. Whoops, I forgot I'm in England. Sorry, sir. Did not mean to end up in your lane and scare you to death with a tractor barreling down on you around a turn. But at least we saw each other before we collided, so we'll consider that a win. So I don't think I have anything else that requires... Oh, I have flour. Alright, let's check out the grain mill, because I don't want to go down there if I'm not ready yet, although that's a lot of flour, so I may need multiple trips. I'm thinking we've probably got plenty. We've got 6,000 here, and then 30,000 in the oil, or 30,000 in the factory, but then we have the ability to produce some more. So it stopped because we're out of space. So let me clear some things out of here. And then, because we basically need another 4,000 or 5,000 liters to be produced. So I don't know that we have enough oats, but we'll see what we get out of that, and then we'll go from there. Alright. So that now gives us some space, but we can come down here and at least get one load of flour taken care of. So, even though we're here, I think I have some room in the field here. It's actually probably shorter for me. I think because this is empty, I can go through the hedges. I think the trailers just have a collision once they're loaded. But going down south is going to get me there faster. It's actually a way that I don't go that often, so it'll be a little bit of a view you don't get, so hopefully you'll enjoy that scenic route that we'll take as we get down to the grain mill. But it's going to be interesting because I've never really had more than one load necessary on this trailer from a production site so far. So this is stepping into new territory as well, which is part of what we've been getting with these high levels of the VIP orders at this point, is the quantities have ratcheted up quite a bit, and that is part of how the mod works. It's part of the challenge of it and so forth, so it's to be expected. But when you're living it, it's a lot different than just the theoretical of what you're running into. So down here in a little bit of a canyon, a little bit of shade. Whoops. It is hard to drive here with the trees and see where I'm going. I suppose I could jump in the tractor, but then you wouldn't get as nice a view of the scenery as we are now. But I would think I could get 20,000, because I think those pallets are about the same size. I might even be able to get 30,000, which would be great. But I was able to fit 10 of cheese on the bottom. And if I can do the same thing with the flour, I can then, stack a second level that way and potentially even stack a third level. It's just the question of, I'm only going to need, if I take 30,000, I'd only need 9,000. So, really, if I get 20,000, anything over 20,000 takes me past that halfway point. And at this point, I don't have enough to, take the 39,000. We don't have that produced, but I think I have 36,000. So I think I'm just going to be slightly short, and that should be workable because we can make flour with other things, and so I just need to see if I have other grain available. And that may be what we do in this episode, is really just fill some orders and get future orders producing before I then jump in to something like the wood. Because if I have plenty of length, an hour is a long time for an episode. I tend to... Oops, I went to the wrong place. This is the oil mill. Grain mill's right near here, but yeah, went the wrong way. Gotta take the road over here and go around the other side of this. We gotta take this road here and then go around. So you're definitely getting a very scenic view here. So I hope you're enjoying it as much as I'm kind of not. I am enjoying it. I'm just embarrassed that I'm making this all take longer than it needs to. But there's the grain mill. It's kind of hiding up here on top of this little hill, and it's a lot of fun getting up here if you're loaded. Nice thing is we're not bringing material, but I'm going to have to bring some in, but I shouldn't have to bring too much. So, a lot of flour around. I can hear the grain mill producing again. I don't know. You really can't, but we'll pretend we can. It's making noise, so oops. So I'm going to get these loaded up. Get this premium flour on my cart here, and we'll see. I'm going to at least do 20,000, because yes, these are definitely the same there. But we'll see how much more I push it. I'll probably do a little bit on the third level, but things get pretty unstable, as we've seen with the greenhouse products, once you get beyond that. So I'm going to get this loaded, because this is going to take me at least a few minutes, as you might imagine, and I'll be back in a bit. So we'll see if I'm going to be able to haul this, but as you can see, I've got 32,000 liters. I've got 5,000 liters sitting there still. I could have fit most of that on here. I could have theoretically, if I did 3 full levels, I was actually able to get 12,000 per level. I was able to get 6 rows on, but I'm just worried this is going to be too heavy. So I just need to be careful, because I don't want to tip over, and I don't want to do what I just did, which is potentially get stuck, because I don't want to be pounding this off fence posts like I was with the strawberries. So if I can avoid that, that is certainly something I would prefer. But once again, I cannot get all 39,000, partially because I don't have it. It'll be close, because the production, the way it takes it, 15 liters of oats produce 19 liters of flour. So I get more flour than the oats I have in there. I have more oats. I have 72,000 liters, so I certainly theoretically have enough. Just I think there is a need in a future order for some oats, or for some additional flour, so I want to be as careful as I can, because if I can avoid having to grow anything, which I don't think I can, because I think we've got a bunch of barley we need. We need 152,000 liters of barley, I think, for level 20, but that'll kind of be our coup de grace, or I don't know if I'm using that phrase appropriately. That might be not farming focused in any way, because usually I think that's like the killing blow in a fight or something. So we're certainly not doing anything like that. Alright, well, let me go back the way I came from the southern side here, because these go to the same place. Actually, they do not. So I am just really losing my directions here. I've got too many places to deliver. Oh boy. Am I going to be able to make the turn? I am. Just a matter of, will the cars be able to get clear? Oh boy. I don't really have a lot of room to maneuver here. So I'd prefer not to do this, but I need to let these guys go. And then I can try to back out into traffic and see if I can get done what I need to get going in the other direction. So Stu's is way up. That is where I was delivering things. Stu's farm shop is kind of where we always go. So we need to head up this way. So it's going to be a little bit. It'll probably take a couple minutes to get up there. So let me get there, and we'll catch up then. Just watch that order being fulfilled. So here I am at Stu's. We're getting really close to 4 million pounds here. Certainly that level bonus payout helped a lot. Tends to be what really moves the needle. But we're not going to get everything done, but hopefully we'll get to, alright, exactly 7,000, which is what we need. So we got basically $60,000, or 60,000 pounds, I'm sorry. So we got 60,000 pounds more. So at this point, doing pretty well. Right now, the oats are the things that make the most sense. Actually, it doesn't look like we need any more oats, but once again, I need 41,000 liters of flour. So if I can get oats over there, as well as delivering, but I don't think I can, that would help. But I'm going to have to figure out what makes sense. But again, this barley is the big one. So it may turn out that I need a couple crops in between this and level 20 to get myself everything I need there. But it's exactly what I would expect with the VIP orders, is that it is definitely trying the production capacity of my farm to be able to meet these demands at this point. They are definitely up there. I did refuel this tractor. I'm trying to be really thorough in making sure I'm not leaving anything out that a particular viewer may enjoy or may want to know about, but just because of the amount of work that it takes to get things accomplished on this series, I just can't show everything. We'd have 180 hours of video out there for these 60 plus episodes. They'd be 2-3 hours a piece, and I don't think folks would be watching all of that. Well, I know they wouldn't be watching all that. I wouldn't have anything to say through all that. But at this point, I'm going to go ahead and swap out this, and we'll go ahead and fill the 69,000 liters of oats. I know I have enough for that, and that at least will take care of our immediate need, and then we can start to look at things instead of trying to estimate what we might or might not be able to do. I certainly wouldn't want to wait for the oats now if I can avoid it, and my thought was that I would plant the entire farm in barley as my next crop, but I'm just not going to even entertain doing that until I'm kind of at a standstill, because I think I'm going to be waiting for lettuce at some point that'll be a great time to put things in the ground, because certainly now I can make progress on things as we are, and that's what I want to do as much as possible, because in the end, that's what the VIPs are paying us for. They're paying us for being expedient and getting things done as quickly as we possibly can. So for now, I'm going to put this here. I will, need it to go get flour again. But as you can see, no lettuce has come out of the greenhouses yet. They're just growing away, so we don't even have 500 liters yet of the 41,000 we need. So I'm over here, because this is what I need for the oats, but I've got TMR in here that I had dragged over but not unloaded yet. So we'll get that going. Hopefully this will be enough for the cows at this point. So yeah, we need 464,000. We've got 70,000 liters of TMR now. I would think that that's going to give them everything they possibly will need to get another 34,000 liters of slurry. So I'm hoping I can then stop paying attention to the cows. So one of the things that I tend to do on the series is, like, I do what I need to do to fulfill the VIP order, but I take some liberties with the flexibility in Farming Simulator, namely that animals will not die if not fed, and then don't try to keep all that up if I'm focused on something else, because that would definitely start to be an overwhelming situation in some cases. So I know I have 69,000 liters of oats. I have, as you can see, 73,000. But my biggest trailer here is 40,000. So I'm going to go ahead, these go to stews as well. So I'm going to go ahead and deliver this, get the next one loaded up to fulfill the order, and we'll meet over at stews when we're ready to finish the VIP order for oats that we have on our plate right now. Coming up here on stews with the final 29,000 liters that we need to finish this order up. So with grain, we put it in the pit here. So here we go. And that'll get our second of 5 VIP orders taken care of. And there we go. Just shy of 4 million pounds. Probably, if the flour is done, once we get that done, certainly, but almost anything will get us there. At this time of day now, we have enough flour to get the order completed for that, so I am going over to the grain mill to pick up the 7,000 liters, and then I will bring that back over, and we will get that order completed. See you in a bit. Here I am at stews again. So, gonna go ahead, get this taken care of, and we'll have our third VIP order for this level serviced. Just try to stay within the delivery point. There we go. So over 4 million pounds. So glad to see that we're up there. But at this point, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. Next time, the focus will be immediately on the wood and getting that done, which is a job I do not enjoy, but one that the VIPs are asking for. So we'll get it done as we sit and wait for the lettuce to finish, which is all that's left. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have not given the video a like, I'd appreciate it if you would do so that it can help spread across YouTube and people can come across what we've got going on the channel, which will help with the community and more of the discussion and so forth, and make things a little more active. If you've not become a subscriber yet, I'd encourage you to do that as well. It helps you find channel content easier and keep up with what's going on, see what's coming next, and as we start nearing the end of the VIP series here in Riverview, certainly so that you can see when the next series comes online, and see where we're at there, that's a wonderful way to do that. So if you haven't done those things, I'd encourage you to do so, and I'd greatly be appreciative of that as well. And I will see you next time.